Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office.
Hello, movie fans. Welcome back to Popcorn Talk Network's Box Office Breakdown. We're here to talk about the numbers from this Thanksgiving movie weekend. And of course, I have JTE here.
What's up, guys?
And Bobby Finstock.
Hi.
And returning from his audition, I believe, is little Bobby.
There he is.
Hi. Oh, and he gets his own intro
Look
music.
at that.
Yeah.
So before we do get into this week's numbers and obviously like our top 5 lists and all of our normal stuff, I do want to talk about a little bit of news. Not typically a news show, but this might affect the box office. Sony was hacked. It had 5 films taken from either screeners or whatnot. Supposedly on their computers, there was some sort of like skeleton. And then there was a message that said, hacked by hashtag GOP, which stands for Guardians of Peace. And the main things that's going to affect our numbers is Fury was taken, which is still in theaters.
Okay.
And it has had 888,000 downloads,
Jesus.
which making it the second most downloaded film on the internet right now. And it's still in theaters. It's been out for a while, but that's going to pull pretty much anyone who is thinking about seeing it can now get it online. Also, Annie has been leaked.
Oh, really?
And
Oh,
Annie's
wow.
not even out yet. Doesn't open for another couple weeks.
That'll
So
probably help that movie.
How so?
It's going to be terrible.
Wow, that's a big one. Anything? What else?
they have said there's also some other ones on the list. Mr. Turner, Still Alice, To Write Love on Her Arms. But
Okay,
those
so
are
those
small
are the
movies.
two main
The
ones.
two main ones are Fury and Annie. The good news is Sony's kind of hoping that Annie's demographic isn't the type of people who normally
Down.
pirate
Orphans do not
movies.
have a lot of access to internet.
Orphans.
Yeah, it's true. Orphans
families.
don't even,
Yeah.
they're not even let it out of their room.
But it is out already, so who knows it's coming. I mean, we saw this happen earlier this summer with Expendables.
That's I was just about to say Expendables. I don't think, even though it had almost 1 million downloads, I think the movie was just ran out of steam.
Yeah.
I think that's a great excuse for them. I think all the execs were like, "Oh, the DVD, basically got ripped and stolen." But I don't think that movie would have done that much better. But Annie, that's a tough one. Fury, at least it's towards the end.
Yeah.
It's on its way out.
I mean, it's done anyway.
It's done its business. It's doing its international
It's
business.
just going to probably hurt the DVD sales and
That's
the
true.
Blu-ray and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, people pay for those
Well,
extra
the other
features and
interesting part of this is Expendables was download. I think some 2 guys in like London got arrested for it recently. But this hacking, Sony is investigating North Korea about.
What? It's because of
That
the interview.
sounds-
It's because that movie, the interview.
You know what?
So, exactly.
And that's where everything's coming from. That's where they hacked the celebrity nude pictures, Jennifer Lawrence and everything like that. It's probably the same people. Who knows?
North
Who
Korea.
knows? But they are saying they're not saying it's North Korea. They're investigating
Gotcha.
North Korea because all the backlash that's happened because of the interview, which I don't know if there's any upside to this. The interview is getting a lot of press.
Let me just
Could
say,
start World War III.
the last time a big budget, I mean, Annie's it's a pretty big budget film, but I remember X-Men Origins had a early copy was leaked out, and they made a big deal about it. It wasn't like completed effects, but the movie was so bad. And word of mouth, everyone that saw the screen was like, this movie's horrible. And it still made close to $100 million opening weekend.
Oh, easily.
So,
Well, that's the kind of movie that people want to see in the theaters.
Some things, yeah, exactly. They're they're critic proof. They're leak proof.
Annie might be in trouble.
Might be in trouble.
It might be trouble because they're like, hey, we can watch it at the house
I
here.
don't know. Is anyone
Yeah.
expecting it to be good?
No, not from the trailers. I'll tell you that much.
The original Annie was great. I mean,
course.
Bernadette Peters was in it, and Annie had red hair. This is a African American chick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's the girl from
Who's it,
Beast
Willow
of
Smith?
Southern Wild.
Oh,
And she's
yeah,
adorable, and she was so good in
She was really good in that
movie.
movie. Yeah.
But Annie, just in general, does not look. The upcoming Annie, in my opinion, doesn't look too great.
It looks bad.
It's bad.
So-
It's Thanksgiving. I seen you the other day on the street. Remember? I was parked next to your house for some
No.
reason. I wasn't doing it on
He
purpose.
didn't-
For some reason.
He didn't just see me.
Okay.
I pull up to my house.
Yeah.
And Finstock's already parked outside.
I don't know what happened.
I picture a car just like rolling up, tinted, and like.
It wasn't on purpose. I seen my friend. He was working out, and he came across, and I happened to stop right in front of Sarah's house.
Okay.
And then she was like, got dropped off, and then I seen her.
Yeah, and
It's a true story.
See?
You weren't there, little
Well,
Bobby.
because he was at his Toy Story thing. Tell us about the Toy Story, Bobby.
Yeah, I asked the guy, Woody, whatever his name was, if he took Little Bo Peep to Pound Town. Next thing you know, I was thrown off set. Doesn't make a difference, though, because I want to work with Spielberg anyway.
Well, see?
Well, that'll do it. That'll get him kicked off Toy Story 4.
Little Bobby has to watch what he says, or he will be kicked off this set.
That's a good point.
So,
Spielberg, what kind of roles he got?
let's get into this week's
Yeah.
numbers from the box office. Everybody, starting with number 5. Not doing so well. Horrible Bosses 2, taking the 5th spot on the list, barely making it in with $15.7 million its opening weekend.
Dare I say horrible?
I told you that movie Horrible Bosses was going to tank.
See?
He knew. I mean, yeah, I said it too, Bobby. Little Bobby. So,
You did. I was wrong.
It's a
I
true
thought this
story.
one was. I thought it would be higher up the list, but I'm not too surprised, being that it hasn't gotten good
Well,
reviews.
I think they made a big mistake not opening it this weekend. I think they wanted to take the 5-day gross. What did it do, $22 million or something like that?
15.
I mean, nothing's open. Yeah, but 5 day.
Oh,
it did-
5 day.
5 day.
23.
23 over to go, yeah.
The first one, I think, was on par with that. But I mean, why open it on Thanksgiving? It's an R-rated comedy. Families want to go see the. Everybody sticks together. They're not going to get into there. Little kids are not going to get into the R-rated movies. They're going to see Mockingjay. They're going to see Big Hero. They're going to see Madagascar, and it was proven.
It was counter programming.
I
I
mean,
mean, there's nothing else like it.
Dumb
in
and
the top 10.
Dumber-ish.
Dumb and
yes.
Dumber, which came
Which
in
is
at
also
number
P-
6,
yeah.
Yeah.
only 8 million. So there is a gap between 6 and 5 this week.
Sure.
But I agree with Finstock. Like, this movie should have come up next week, and we're going to get into upcoming movies,
Yeah, there's
and
not
there's
much.
nothing.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have hurt them. It could have only helped to come out a week
I
later.
agree. I
They probably
agree.
would have got the 22 in 3 days rather than 5 days.
I agree.
Good point.
All right, so moving up to number 4, still staying in our top 5, is Interstellar, coming in with $15.8 million, bringing its grand total for the total gross to $147 million. Well, that's domestic.
I think people are seeing that 2 to 3 times now. I think you're getting a lot of repeat views because people don't understand like what they watched the first time.
Yeah.
It actually went
Yeah.
up. It
Yeah.
went up
Yeah.
in percent this week. It went
is.
up
I think,
3%.
I think the majority of people who see this movie see it twice or maybe more.
Well,
Probably
mo-
about 40% of them.
I feel like people who usually probably don't go to movies go to the movies during this Thanksgiving break.
I
I did.
agree.
Like, every year is like, this is the
It's
year
a
my
family
family
thing.
would go out. And sometimes my family would split up. They would go see Penguins. I'd go see Interstellar. I've been wanting to see for a month, but no one would drive me to the theater to see it.
True.
So,
I mean, there's a reason why, you get together on Thanksgiving with family. You could stand each other for about an hour. You get a drink or two. Then you want to kill the person. The reason why you moved like away from this person, and you're like, I got to do something. So they go see a movie.
And you see it together, but you don't have to talk.
Yes,
Exactly.
Exactly. The beauty of the movies during family weekends. Going up to our
relationships,
number
too.
3rd spot, taking it back to the box office. Let's talk about Big Hero 6.
Yep.
Coming in with $18.7 million this week at number 3. It held on pretty
Yeah.
tight, even though Penguins came out. Making this, we're going to talk about our top 3 films, and they are all targeted towards the younger or teen audience.
Oh, yeah.
So Big Hero 6, number 3. Number 2, Penguins at Madagascar with only 25.8.
That's a big disappointment for them.
Yeah.
Really? Is it that
Yes.
big?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. They
I thought
they
the
were
marketing
expecting
can-
like 50, 60
Oh,
for
easily.
sure.
I thought the marketing
Really?
campaign was horrible.
Listen, I don't mind animated films, especially like Lego Movie is a fantastic kids movie and adult movie. Nothing as an adult no part of me wants to see these penguins.
Cash grab piecemeal together at the last second to make a movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seemed like it.
And it didn't really make the numbers. It's 5 days at 36 million.
That's very weak.
And like I said, Big Hero definitely pulled from it.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
it should have been the other way
should have
around.
been the other way around, yep.
The Penguins should have pulled more people from Big Hero 6, but it just hasn't been getting the responses that I'm sure they wanted or expected. And then number 1, staying on top of the box office, which no one is surprised about, I'm
Yeah.
sure. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 Thanksgiving movie weekend is going to be $56.875 million, bringing the total gross to $225.69.
A lot of money. It's making a ton of money. It's a little underperforming, but I mean, like I said earlier,
Well, the opening weekend was underperforming. Like we were saying 150 and 125.
I mean, being that it is underperforming and just started with lower numbers, it's on the same track as Catching Fire was if you're looking at percentages.
Okay. Sure.
So it didn't have as high of its opening and it's not getting as high, but the proportions, the differences, the drops are exactly how Catching Fire moved through the box office. So it'll still bring in people for a little bit. It's just the reviews and box office in general. The whole box office was down like 15% or something from last Thanksgiving's box office numbers.
The weather on
So
the
just
East Coast
people
is
weren't
horrible.
going to see
I'm trying to
the
remember
movies as much.
Was there a big budget like blockbuster that came out last Thanksgiving? Because I mean,
I'm pretty
think about it.
When exactly did Frozen come out? Does anyone know?
Oh,
I think it was.
that's a
I think
tough-
it was October, and it
'Cause
just blazed
I
through.
think Frozen was still. I think it was Frozen and
Yeah.
Catching Fire between the two of them, and so that just was driving
it.
people, and
Yeah.
especially because Frozen's rewatchability factor was through the roof.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Where it wasn't like 2 times; it was like 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
people
people were
see it.
spending just hundreds of dollars seeing this
Frozen
movie.
came out
Imbeciles.
November 27th, 2013.
Oh.
So it came out
Af-
on.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
On
Probably on
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. See, nothing big like that dropped this Thanksgiving. Everything came out the weekend before or the week before. So usually it felt weird to me because usually
Yeah.
Thanksgiving I'm like, let's eat. I
Thank
need to
you,
go see this movie.
I don't think I've ever
That
seen
didn't
a
happen
movie on
this year.
Thanksgiving in my whole entire life.
Okay,
Really?
I'll agree with that. Usually it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
but still,
Bad either.
there was
But it's
usually
that
a
weekend.
juggernaut.
That
Yeah, there's
weekend.
usually a juggernaut coming in.
That
there.
is true.
And nothing
Yeah.
came out.
And it's like, what would they have brought out besides if Big Hero 6 had done a huge change in their marketing and come out this weekend? What other movies were fighting for that spot?
True.
I
No,
don't
you're right.
Yeah, that's a good
would've-
point.
I mean, would Disney have maybe moved up into the woods?
I would have like
That could have done well.
I would have liked maybe The Hobbit. Maybe the 5 Armies should have came out.
And it won't go with their tradition. They
No.
need to.
No,
That needs a
they want to
December
go. Yeah, they
opening.
want to go Christmas.
Yeah, that's
Or
just
in and around
but like,
that area.
You have to look at which studios have the flexibility to
Yeah.
which holiday they want to target. And I think
Sure.
that actually Into the Woods could have brought up. They could
True.
have. They could have come out earlier.
That's definitely a family. It's a musical. It's got Disney. It's got basically
it
everything.
has
for a
really
hit.
good actors in it.
Yeah,
It-
Meryl Streep.
Well, yeah.
Are you
can't
not a
knock
fan of Meryl Streep?
No,
Last week,
she's the best.
Last week he kind
Okay.
of knocked Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
People were pissed.
No, Meryl Streep's one of the best actresses of all
Okay,
time.
yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
there's no debating that. At
So
any
why did
level.
you scoff
I just
about?
don't want to see things with her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
One of
Well-
the best actors of all time, but I don't want to see her in things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That makes
not
sense.
too much anymore.
Who actually enjoys?
I stopped
good
watching her
movies?
after Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh, wow, that early.
Yeah,
That's so sad. You're
Yeah.
so deprived.
I know.
You've made so many good performances. I know.
That's
My
early
family saw 4 movies
This
4?
weekend?
this week.
How, there's not even that many
didn't see
out.
Your family really
My
doesn't want to
family
talk to
saw-
each other.
My family saw 4.
Yeah, they really don't like each other.
And my favorite was when we went and I only saw Birdman with them.
Oh, you saw Birdman. Okay.
And I thought I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I heard it's great.
My parents hated
Hated
it.
Really?
Like,
well, they
we
probably
get
don't
out
like
of
the
the theater,
satire, right?
and my mom goes, "You should have seen your stepdad. He was just hitting himself in the head every time I would look at him.
Really?
Like, wanted to walk out and
Really?
couldn't walk out because we were there and we liked it.
Why do you think that is?
They just,
Where's the disconnect there?
Well,
I just don't
satire
think I
Hollywood.
got
If you're
it.
not really into that kind of thing, it's not. It's not for everybody.
Okay.
And I think also I found out later that my mom had told my stepdad that it was an action movie,
Oh.
like an
He
actual
expected like a
Birdman.
Birdman movie?
Well, of
Yeah.
course. Well, if you go in
So-
with big expectations
Yeah.
like that and get nothing, then yeah, it's like it's like
Wait, so
dating a
that's one
chick.
movie. What's the other 3?
They also saw. I'd already seen. They saw Interstellar. They saw Theory of Everything, which is doing very
Yep.
well.
Yes, it is.
Also pointing out for the box office, not only is Theory of Everything doing really well, it went up. It got an extra 662 theaters and brought in $5 million, which is really good for
Nice,
specialty box
yeah.
sets. It's up 236%.
Wow.
So that's
pretty
doing
amazing.
really well. Also in the specialty box office, which I guess is where people were going
Yeah.
this weekend for once, which
At
I'm
this
all
point,
about.
at this is the time of year where they actually do because they know there's Oscar buzz floating
Yeah.
around
and
these
also
things.
there's not much for them to see.
Of course.
True.
The other one to look at is Imitation Game.
Yeah. We talked
Imitation
about
came
that
out.
last week.
It had only $482,000, so not $1,000, but that's in 4 theaters
That's
according to Box
crazy.
Office Mojo. That's insane. You're looking at against Whiplash, which has comparable reviews. Everyone's liking it.
Loved it.
That made $496,000. This is a I can't do math right now. $10,000 difference,
Right.
and that had 179 theaters. So 4 theaters compared
That's
to 179 theaters.
huge.
2 great movies, great reviews, and they're making the same amount of money.
Do you think?
You'll see it open more.
Do you think it's Cumberbatch that's bringing people to it?
I
Because
mean,
I
you
don't
have
feel like
Cumberbatch and you have Keira Knightley.
he's not a huge draw.
We get the
Like,
it's the Weinstein
Oh
company
no,
too.
women love him.
They do.
I mean,
for some
he
reason,
has
love
Sherlock.
him.
for some reason, they actually like this guy.
No, he is like very.
I mean, listen, he's done
but he's
Star
not-
Trek
The
Into
female-
Darkness.
Yeah, but he's not a
Yes.
quintessential like great-looking guy.
No, but people love him.
I mean, he's got good hair. He's he's got good tones in his face, but I mean, he's not Brad Pitt.
He's known for his voice.
There's
Like,
a different appeal, and he's known for his personality
Yeah.
and how he talks.
And he has a good name. I mean, that's a big English
if
name.
I was gonna say like, what's his best performance as of right now? Like, what would you pinpoint it to? It have to be Sherlock, right?
Well, I
Name
like
a
Sherlock.
movie.
I've also seen Imitation Game.
Okay, well,
So,
besides Imitation Game, what have you like? What's a film of his you're like he's great in that?
I just like him as a
Okay.
person.
I
Was-
don't know
how to,
him.
like,
I
narrow
don't
that
know him
down.
personally on that level.
Did they show
so-
Hitler in the Imitation Game or no? You don't wanna tell?
I don't think I'm allowed to say. I saw.
Okay.
I was there for. They did a screening of it
Oh,
at
okay.
my theater.
Okay.
So we had everyone come
A Q&A
in who was
thing.
invited to
Cumberbatch
see
there?
it. No, he was not there.
Oh,
It's for like,
Was
all
Casey
of that
Affleck
stuff
there?
Interstate.
he's not in it, is he?
I don't think so.
No. All right. So
he's in
this is.
Interstellar.
Gone Girl's gone from the top 5 for.
Oh,
based
it's finally
off-
gone.
They finally given an
We had
RIP
to
Oh,
give it,
no.
and it came in at number 8.
after like 35,000 weeks.
Oh, also,
Also
it
known
is-
as the 9 weeks.
Yeah,
and it is his highest grossing film for David Fincher.
absolutely.
This
There we
this
go.
weekend it passed.
Got to give that something.
Yeah,
So
Oscar nom.
we've completed our box office numbers, which leads us to who won last week's predictions.
Wow,
Because we have to have a little bit of a discussion about this.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Because JT and E and I tied.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So I'm not really sure
lost
what
again.
this means. Yeah, you lost. And Finstock lost.
I've been losing a lot. I
that's
don't know
the
what problem
important thing is Finstock lost.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's actually really what matters. There was an arrangement because this was not
Yeah.
only JT's a win for you, but it was your 5th win.
True.
But I kind of think that my win knocks out.
Yeah, I
Like,
can understand
I feel like
that.
this is a cancellation.
It's a tie, and then a tie in football or any other sport, you don't get the win. You get like a half point or something.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll just have to call it a tie.
Well, you get, like-
do you want a half point? We
Let's
can give
do-
you
let's
a
do a half point.
4.5, and then if you tie
You know
again,
what?
There
you
we
don't
go.
count
That's
as your
actually
5th.
not a bad idea
That's
for a
good
half
idea.
point.
Half
yeah.
point.
You get a half point, and I get a half point.
I think you really want me to win so you can wear my mask. That's what I want. That's what I think.
I actually just really want to win, so
Okay.
I don't have to do either.
That's true too.
Anything. But so we will leave it as a tie.
Yeah.
But there is
I
a
agree with
condition
that.
to this, which will come up later, because I believe we have someone who could change these statistics, being Marissa Serafini, and she
Yes.
might help me out in the future.
Wow.
All right,
Oh,
let's talk
really?
about international numbers.
Yeah.
Big numbers.
The Hunger Games, talking a little bit more about that, held on to first place overseas in the box office for a 2nd week in a row, playing in 86 markets. The 3rd installment fell 56% to 67 million, which brought the total to 254.4. So it's actually kind of doing similar to our domestic
Yeah.
box office, which dropped, I believe, 53, but still bringing in numbers, still making lots of money. Then we go to Interstellar, added 44.4 million this weekend for new international total of $39.5.2 million. And for the 3rd weekend in a row, it has held first place in China.
Wow.
Who
Yeah.
would have thunk?
My favorite place.
China's a huge market for especially the big budget films.
Everybody's going to
It's
see stuff in
huge.
China.
They make
Yeah.
movies now like targeted towards China. Why do you think
Hello,
Transformers
I was going to say, yes,
took place in
Transformers.
China?
Plus, they could smoke
Michael
cigarettes in the
Bay
theater.
loves China. And then we'll go to Penguins of Madagascar, which we just got this week, but it's been playing exclusively in China for
did
the
not know
past
that.
few weeks, and it's international. So It has earned $35.6 million, which brings the total to $62.6
Now,
million.
they love
dollars.
they love penguins
I was
over
about to
there.
ask you, why does China get it 3 weeks before us?
Because they
It's
love
interesting
penguins.
because they just did
They
this.
love eating them?
No.
Or they
Well,
just
yeah, that's obvious.
It's a delicacy, right?
Yeah, well, of course it is over there.
I mean, I
Everything
guess
is.
the only thing I can think of is when you're talking about, because also Big Hero 6 did this, where its original opening was actually, I believe, in Russia. It opened in Russia
Yes.
before.
Which
and
I
guess
was
they
totally
have the
against that, by the way.
I agree. I want them to open these
No,
things
I
first.
told you what it was. I
But-
think it's people, they put up money for these movies, and they're like, here, we're going to give you enough money here. We want to open here first. That's it.
Yeah. Also, it's different. They have to do all the translations, get new actors. So
We know
who knows?
translations.
I mean, I understand if it was Kung Fu Panda or something like that, that had like, you know, I don't know. But I'm trying to think, penguins, like
Yeah,
Madagascar?
they live in
I
like
don't know
Mongolia.
where Penguins of Madagascar is focused on. I know that this movie brought in a whole like winter team.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
like a
okay.
polar bear and a wolf.
I
And,
had like a James Bond vibe to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I also don't know where this one takes place.
Okay.
Because I know there was one that took place in Madagascar, one that took place
Mm-hmm.
in like Africa. So who knows? Maybe it is its setting is appealing to.
Apparently, somebody
Chinese
said it's like a
market.
Nickelodeon show or something.
Yeah, I saw somebody commented that like
Yeah.
they said do your research. It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't watch Nickelodeon every
Yeah.
weekend. But listen,
Or
hey,
ever.
yeah, or ever.
I watch it sometimes.
Oh, you do? Unless if Rocco's Modern Life or something like that
I
is
used to
rerunning,
watch it
then
when
okay.
it was Double Dare was on it.
Yes,
All right.
Double Dare.
So
Family
that-
Double Dare.
I was
too.
on Double Dare once.
No way.
Yeah, I lost.
Of course you did.
I didn't
I
even
believe you
get past
now.
the trivia part. I was so angry.
All right.
It's a true story.
Thank you.
And
Thank
he's
you,
got-
little Bobby.
What about Badookaduk or Badunkadunk?
What are you talking
that
about?
limited release horror film from Australia, the
Yeah.
Oh,
Made-
the one
it was
that-
number one in Australia.
Badonkadonk.
Badookaduk.
It's
No.
Badookadoo.
Bobby knows what it is. What is it, Bobby?
Badonkadonk.
So you know
That
Bobby's
idiot
in
in
my
the Big
head.
Bang Theory says bazinga. I'm gonna say badonkadonk.
Yeah, see?
I actually am going to agree with him on this one because that's the phrase that gets stuck in my head too.
Yeah.
Well, that was our international numbers for the week, which means leads us to our international
Yeah, man.
game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
And
Bingo.
this could be the game changer for predictions because we have decided that if Marissa wins, because she tends to win this game,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good at this.
she could use her power to take away one of our wins from prediction.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Step up the game a little bit. I like it.
You know, this is foreign movie titles, bizarre ones, and, you know, for American movies.
And we have to pick the false one.
Correct.
Great.
We'll go to Brazil, like I said, which is slowly climbing up the ranks of bizarreness.
Who is in the who's now in the ranks? Is it Poland?
Well, China's.
Well,
up there.
China's so far ahead; they're dead.
They're
Like
the-
nobody will ever
yeah,
beat
they're
China.
the LeBron
They're
James.
winning. They're gonna. Yeah, they're LeBron and Michael
They're
Jordan put
Beatles.
together. They're like a world leader. They're like Stalin.
Who else is it? Poland? Was
Poland's
really good?
coming up.
They're like the Larry Bird. Of
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
Like
Larry
now Brazil?
Bird.
Kevin
yeah,
Love. Gotcha.
yeah, and Brazil is like D Wade.
D-Wade.
Yeah,
Getting old, but he's still.
yeah,
addicted.
yeah. He still got it.
I got it.
So
okay,
Brazil's
so Brazil.
1 hour photo. Pictures of an obsession.
Okay.
You know the Robin Williams
Yeah,
classic.
that's not a bad one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Brazil again. Airplane. Tighten your seatbelts. ... The pilot is a high-class imbecile.
See, it wasn't the pilot's fault in that one, so I don't know about that one. He's on.
Spain. ...
Also known as ellipses.
Yeah. Spain. Die Hard. Crystal Jungle.
That's horrible. It's like they're describing L.A.
And we're gonna go to obviously the Michael Jordan of everything.
Go ahead.
China. Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh no.
is called Interplanetary Unusual Attacking Team.
Oh, I really like that one.
That sounds like a cartoon from China.
that one. That one's true.
Well, listen, let's have Miss Hotshot Marissa go first here.
Want me to run them down again for you
Run it
guys?
down
Run
again.
it again.
Brazil airplane was tighten your seatbelts. The pilot's a high-class imbecile. Brazil, again, 1 hour photo, pictures of an obsession. Spain, Die Hard, Crystal Jungle. And China, Guardians of the Galaxy, Interplanetary, Unusual Attacking Team.
A
I like
long
that
poster, man.
And
right,
Marissa's
Marissa.
first, yeah.
Marissa,
Okay.
you've been.
I'm gonna say airplane The whatever first.
Tighten your
class.
seatbelts. The pilot is a high-class imbecile.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was also the one I was going to go with. So
Okay.
I'm with you, Marissa, on that.
You could agree with her.
Can I? All right, I'm on Team Marissa.
All right.
Okay.
I am going to go with
You can't look at his paper.
there's no answers there. It's just the
No answer.
titles. I'm going to go 1 hour photo.
Oh, it's Marissa and Sarah are right again.
Jeez.
Yes.
Tighten your seatbelt.
good.
The
Marissa,
pilot
would you
is a
like to
high-class
use your
imbecile.
power to
I
take
originally was
away
going to go with
anything
airplane,
from
but
I
they
believe
both
that's
had it.
Yeah, of
2
course.
in a row.
I mean, I don't think and nobody could put an imbecile in the title, but maybe. You never know. It was called Tighten Your Seatbelts. The pilot disappeared or something like that.
Yes.
See, my
Which is
initial thought was
ridiculous, too.
airplane, but they both took it, so I wanted to try to, go for the other.
Yeah, no,
so
of course.
you lose.
But no, yeah,
Lose.
he went out on a
Marissa
limb.
gets to take a point away from someone.
She does.
Marissa.
Do I have to choose right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can
Wait, where are your standings, JT?
I
got
got 4.
4.5.
I got 4. He's got 4.5, and Sarah's got 2.
I think I have
You could take
2.5.
you could take
2.5,
you could take one
2.5.
away from Sarah if you feel.
Yeah, take one away from Sarah if you want.
You want to see whoever
Whoever
the
has
best.
the most, so the 4.5
Okay,
can
so
take
it's
away
me.
that half.
Okay,
So I got
perfect.
3.5.
Thanks,
There you go.
Sarah.
There you go.
He's gonna wear the mask.
Take
I
away a
don't know
full
if that
point.
helps me or hurt me.
Yeah, I was gonna let little Bobby do it, but his headphones. He's got new headphones and binoculars. He's got
does.
binoculars.
Why
He's
does he have
decked out
Why
now.
does he have binoculars, by the way?
Bobby, why do you have binoculars?
I bought these binoculars just so I could stare in your and Roxy's window when you guys play naked beer pong.
Wow.
You guys play
See?
naked beer pong?
God,
No way.
No.
those
we
are pretty
don't.
amazing.
I didn't go to your parties.
We
Jeez.
don't
Yeah.
play naked beer pong. That I will let Roxy know that we have a new
Creeper?
peeping- yeah.
Yeah, peeping Bobby.
Great, a peeping
Oh
Bobby.
my god! Now I know why you're
Wonderful.
outside her window.
Let's
Yeah.
let's get to our top 5 list of this week. Top 5 Woody Harrelson movies.
Woody.
They're coming to us because of Mockingjay. He has
Yeah.
a wonderful role in that. as
He's great in
Hamish.
them, by the way.
But these are top
Yes.
5 without Mockingjay.
Yeah, we took that out.
Without Hunger Games.
Hunger
Without
Games.
Hunger
Hunger
Games,
Games
basically.
in
Hunger Games.
general. So number 5, poor Hunger Games. We keep eliminating it from
I
the
know.
list.
Yeah, but it's gonna be number 1 on everybody's
yeah.
list, unless
Okay.
you're like James Cameron.
All right. So number 5, Doc Hollywood.
Love that movie.
Michael J. Fox.
$105
seen it?
Yeah, Michael J. Fox.
million.
In like 1989
Never saw
or
it?
something like that too. It's a lot of money. Michael J. Fox was at the top of his game at that point.
Everyone talks about the Phoebe Cates scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Phoebe?
Yeah, but the girl Phoebe, what I say?
Phoebe Cates. You said Phoebe.
Phobia
Cates.
I have a phobia Cates.
Yeah.
Doc Hollywood. Who's the girl in that movie who she comes out of the water naked? There's that
Oh.
famous scene. She was like a
Helen
bunch of
Sla-
this
it's
stuff in the
not
early
Helen-
90s.
It's not Helen Slater.
I've not
gonna kill
seen
me.
this film.
Yeah.
It's got one of the best, surprise coming out of the water nude scenes ever.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Phoebe Cates is still the best. I mean, oh no, you know what? No, Alexandria Daddario and True Detective.
All
Sorry.
right.
We're throwing
Yeah.
out. We're
I
throwing
believe
out.
Woody Harrelson's in that too.
He is.
So, but that is not on this list because
I have
it's
a
about
gif
movies.
I have a gif of that.
Number 4,
It's in his contract.
Now You
Yeah.
See Me, coming
Oh.
in with 114 million.
Was that the one that
was
just
a
recently
horrible
came
sign.
out?
Yeah.
Oh, the one where there were magicians and stuff
Yes.
like that. Oh,
I heard
yeah,
it wasn't
okay.
very good. I never saw it.
I seen it. It could have been better.
That movie and like
Well, yeah.
21 and a bunch of
Yeah.
those are all mixed together in my
Can I ask
brain.
you
Yeah.
that? They don't use real magic. It's just illusion stuff, right?
What do you mean?
In the movie, it's about magicians, right?
Yeah.
They're not actually because I watch a trailer. I'm
No,
like,
it's about
this looks like
it's
real
about-
magic.
No, it's about
It's like impossible.
it's
Some
about
stuff they did.
illusions and there's like a
Yeah.
bank, like a robbery.
Yeah, they're
involved.
disappearing and stuff like that.
Sequel's coming out
It's
soon.
a joke.
All right, number 3, White Men Can't Jump.
Love this
Oof.
movie.
Fantastic movie.
$149
Love it.
million
And I'll tell you what,
taking the 3rd
It's a
spot.
lot of money, and Woody can play basketball. I played with him once. It's
Did
not,
you?
That's
Did you
no
really?
joke. Yes, in Venice Beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
He's actually that was real playing basketball. You can tell he was.
Oh,
better
yeah,
than, he
you-
was definitely better than Wesley. That's for sure.
Well,
He was better than Snipes.
Oh yeah. Well, look, Woody was deadly from 3-point.
he
Those
is
are-
a self-titled anarchist, and he likes to play bingo. So I can understand why you guys would be friends.
Great movie, and Rosie Perez.
Oh yeah.
Really good now.
She always shows him too.
The Jeopardy scene? Yeah, she does. She does. That movie she does. Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
Love showing him.
Number 2, 2012, 177 million.
Yep, that's where he plays a similar character to his Hunger Games. He's just
Yeah,
like a
like
cooped
a-
out,
yeah.
alcoholic.
Mhm.
He's like
Who knows everything.
Yeah, who knows
He
everything.
fits that type very well.
Yeah, they know
Yeah.
everything.
And number
movie,
1, taking his top spot on the list, Indecent Proposal,
Ooh, poof.
with $209 million.
I made a ton of money off an Indecent Proposal one time. I was with this chick, and some guy was like, "Hey, I'll give you $3,000. Let me take her home." I'm like,
Okay, no, thank
like,
you.
okay.
This is getting into.
I gave her $300. I didn't like her that much anyway, so I made $2,700 off it. Never seen her again.
Well,
What
I
is
love
that? Bobby, what is that?
I don't. Inappropriate.
Little Bobby.
Inappropriate.
That's a true story.
No, it's not. He even
It's
knows
a true story.
The hesitation was because it's a lie.
No, he knows.
No, you had to make him say that.
Well,
because
just
it's
so
not
people know,
true.
Decent Proposal is Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore.
And Robert
and
Redford.
Robert Redford offers them like $1 million for like a weekend with his wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this movie because I'm a huge fan of Demi Moore growing up.
Oh,
I had like the biggest
she
crush
was
on her.
so hot at that point.
And yeah, she was like at a peak of
She
her
was coming
hotness.
off striptease and...
This was before striptease.
was it really?
And yeah, and I think it was one of her first nudie scenes besides
maybe after
About
Ghost.
Last
I
Night.
feel like every movie we've mentioned on this Woody Harrelson list, you guys have been
It's
like,
in his
and
contract.
This girl.
Yeah, but who...
It's in his
Who's in it
contract.
is
There's got to be
awesome.
a topless girl in like all his movies.
How... I mean,
Hunger Games.
who wouldn't do that for $1 million?
He's not the star.
Anybody would do that for $1 million.
I mean, like,
I'd sell my mom for $1 million.
I'm going to tell her you said that. She's not going to
she
be
watches.
happy.
Oh, she watches.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
watching.
She watches everything Bobby does.
My grandma, too.
Horrible. All right, let's talk
Bucks.
about
Set for life.
upcoming films, you guys.
Okay.
That wraps up our Woody
Light week.
Harrelson list.
It's a light week.
It's beyond a light week. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, we've got a
Just-
couple.
I wouldn't say there's nothing.
All right, let's go to what we could scrounge out that's coming
Mm-hmm.
up. No, Dying of the Light.
Yep.
I've heard nothing about this film.
This is a Nicolas Cage like CIA thriller, and it's by Paul Schrader, the guy who wrote Raging Bull, Taxi Driver.
Yep.
I mean, masterpiece films.
Oh, yeah.
Scorsese directed them though, and he directed this film, and it looks like a really bad B movie. Straight
Yeah,
to
but you know
DVD.
what? Harrison Ford and Channing Tatum were attached to star in this film.
I know, but
And then they went to Foxcatcher.
A director dropped out, and then they let Paul Schaefer do it, and it hung in limbo for a little while. I mean, I heard it's not bad. This guy's not a bad writer,
But
obviously.
no one, he's not a bad writer, but no one's been talking about it.
Well,
No.
because it's Nicolas Cage.
exactly.
The guy's
Isn't it?
out of his mind.
He had Left Behind come out like 3 weeks ago. and
But he's still getting somebody to put $15 million
Yeah.
budgets to do his movies.
he's like a
They
parody
make
of
money
himself.
somewhere. It's either overseas or it's on DVD or Blu-ray or something. People still watch these movies unless he's putting his own money or he's calling up Francis Ford Coppola and being like, "Hey, Uncle, I need some money to make a movie." He's probably giving it to him.
He
Who
should
knows?
start doing more supporting roles. Like I really liked him in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
He was
played,
great
like-
in that.
He was great in that. And I didn't see this movie called Joe that came out, I think, at the beginning of the year.
It did, especially
got-
box office.
Yeah, and it got a lot of word of mouth. And it's like he took that, word of mouth that he built up, and now he's coming out with crap all year. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what his agent, I think he's just, his agent, he's calling his agent like, I need money.
I don't even
I
know
will
if he
do
has an
anything.
agent anymore.
Well, let's
Amazing.
talk about an actor
does have
who
agents.
is
He's got great hair.
getting a
He
lot.
does have great
Let's
hair.
talk about an actor who is getting a lot of press for her more indie circuit debut. Reese Witherspoon in
Oh,
Wild.
Wild, yeah.
And Wild is coming out this week, and she has really had the press go like just gunning for her. Her and Jennifer Aniston, I feel like in the past couple months with Cake and with Wild,
Sure.
have really been out there because it's very stripped down, raw performances from both these women who are looked at as American sweethearts.
They're going she's going for the Oscar. She wants awards. Let's not.
She has an Oscar.
She has an Oscar, but I mean, these movies,
Here's-
they're releasing them. They know what they're doing.
Here's the deal. I think that she was getting oversaturated, just like Hilary Swank was. But Hilary Swank didn't really want to play that lesser role.
2-time Oscar winner.
And Reese Witherspoon was like, "Look, I'm getting oversaturated. I had a big problem with this." She just put out The Good Life. She got like pulled over for like drunk driving, whatever the hell she was
Yeah,
doing.
yep, I
She
remember
did
that.
Mud. I mean, she produced Gone Girl. I mean, I think she's doing
that's right,
the
she
right
did.
move for her career. Now she'll do this Wild movie. What's it called? Wild?
It's called Wild. It's
Yeah.
more or less seems to be about her walking 1,000 miles, but it's not. From the trailer, it's not shot linearly. It's very much like you see her walking 1,000 miles, but you do get glimpses of her life that has brought her to the point that she
Gotcha.
needs to do that.
It's nudity too. And I heard it's her first nude scene.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Is it?
It's her
Yeah.
first nude scene.
first nude scene. Like first time where like full frontal.
Good to know.
True,
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Well, I haven't heard that from anyone. I've just been hearing wonderful press about how great she is in this film, and I look forward to seeing it.
Well,
Also, we have The Pyramid coming out in horror genre.
What's Pyramid?
I don't know, some mummy or something.
They should just re-release Badonkadonk. I think Bobby wants to do Badonk. Bobby had an idea for Badonkadonk.
No, he didn't.
Hey, Sarah, I'm thinking about shooting that movie Badonkadonk. You want to be the lead character?
Wow.
How did I know that was
What a
coming
compliment.
It's a pretty big
That's
compliment.
a pretty big compliment. He wants you to star in Badongadonk. This is a lot.
He's going to be the A-list director eventually.
I'm going to have to say no, little Bobby, but thank you.
We
I
gotta
don't
give him
even know.
director's chair. We'll
All
direct
right. This is probably a movie that little Bobby will like to see. Lap Dance is coming out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's
I came across this because it's starring Carmen Electra, who I didn't even know was still even entertainment business.
I got a little story about this movie.
Lap Dance?
Yeah.
I didn't even heard of it until yesterday.
I was at a party a while ago, and Carmen Electra and like Dennis Rodman were like having a little scuffle. And I told the bouncer guy, and they broke it up and threw Dennis out. And she was like, "Thank you so much for doing this." And I was like, "No problem, don't worry about it." She like bought me a drink, and I didn't think twice of it, right?
Yeah.
So my agent calls me. He's like, "Hey, I want you to go on the set of this movie."
Oh, no.
This movie Lap Dance. And I'm like, all right. So I was an extra. I was one of the patrons or whatever.
Okay.
And she remembered me. And she's like, "Hey, I'm going to give you a little feature thing in this." And most of the girls, as they were practicing and like doing their stuff, and they were,
Everyone, this is
setting
what
up.
you call lying.
No, it's true. It's true. They were setting it up. It's a true story. And then they were setting it up a little bit, and I was like the doll that they were like dancing on, stuff like that.
Also known as
Oh,
lying.
wait, so the actors were practicing their lap dance skills on you.
Yes.
Was that your whole job?
Carmen
Are you in the
Electra-
movie? Or is that just your job?
I'm from the back. You'll see my back. If you know my back, you'll see it there.
It's not there. All right,
it's only
so
the torso,
that
we
is
would
our
know.
upcoming
Yeah.
films. Also, in case
Dance.
any of you were, I don't know, living under a rock this weekend,
It's going to do really well.
maybe you don't know about Star Wars finally releasing or its
Yeah, the trailer.
I was surprised. I actually thought we were going to wait longer. I thought this was coming out Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not. I mean, I found out a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
that they were going to release it this weekend, but would have predicted them release it
Maybe
in
around.
December.
A lot of people were like, even Christian Harloff from the main show was like, Into the Woods was his bet. Because it's Disney.
I was with him.
And I kind of made sense. And they've been doing this a lot this whole time. They kind of just release news without like any.
Yeah, but there was people
And
waiting at the
platform.
theater. There was people waiting
I
at the
know.
theater, right?
But
At 9 in the morning
without
for something?
like any fanfare.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's kind
saying.
of either social media.
Yeah, you wake
or
up and
just
you're like, oh,
like
what's
here
happening?
we'll just let everyone. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe they spent all their money and they're like, we can just let the fans do some advertising for us because that's how I'm finding out about it. It's just popping up on
Yeah.
like Facebook or someone's news. It's not like them making any type of brand announcement or gesture. It's like, people will do it for
I
us.
think it's such a big. They don't feel like they need to do that maybe because it's such a big thing. People will just make whatever of it.
I agree that they
Explode.
don't need to do it because people are going to see it and going to search these things out. It's not about the necessity. It's about, I feel like, the love of the film that I want them to be like, I'm so proud of this, that this is how we want to show everything. Instead of like, we know you guys all like it.
Sure.
You guys do all the work.
I
for us.
love the trailer and the only thing
trailer
I
is
don't love is the last thing where it says December 2015.
Yes.
It's like, damn it, I gotta
That's
wait
a
a
year.
year for this thing.
You know that.
you like
You have to wait over a year.
I did. I mean, look, I'm just. I know what they're gonna do. You know, it's Han Solo and Princess Leia are gonna be living in their house, and
knows
then
everything.
and Chewbacca's gonna be living in the basement like Sloth from the Goonies. Then they're gonna the droids are gonna be teaching a droid school.
The droid
they're gonna
in it is
hear,
awesome.
They're gonna hear like the Force is back or whatever. They're all gonna get together.
Force
they're gonna find
Awakens.
Luke on like a remote island like Yoda, and then they're gonna win and kill
He's
everybody.
not on a remote
Bobby
island.
had
He's on
something.
a planet.
Bobby
and
had something to
he's
say about
also
Star Wars.
passed
Every
away.
single CVS was out of hand lotion. Everybody was getting prepared for the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, hand lotion apparently. No hand lotion or
That's
tissues in the CVS.
surprisingly true.
Interesting. But
That is really
no,
close to
this movie
fact.
looks awesome. I think that
Yeah.
some standout points are the droid that's shown. Also the
Soccer
shot.
ball, Droid?
Yeah, I love it. Also the Millennium Falcon shot is incredible.
It's for me, it's the Sith Lord. The Sith guy that pulls out and he has like a
with the
broadsword
handguard.
lightsaber. I mean, listen, Jedis are cool, but the Siths are always cooler. What's the best thing about the first trilogy? it's Darth Maul.
Yeah, of course. Well,
What's
that's
the best
only
thing about the original trilogy?
Well, they had
Darth Vader.
They had the
Yeah.
imbecile Jar Jar Binks and everything. But
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I'm really interested to see. It is technically 30 years after Return of the Jedi, and it technically in real life is 30 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
So I'd be
All
curious
right,
to see what
we
they're doing over there.
We will see. Guys, we got to wrap up pretty soon because we are running out of time. So we're going to go through predictions very quickly, which shouldn't be too hard because guess what?
Nope.
Nothing's coming out.
Yep.
So let's start at the other end of the table.
Oh, yeah,
Finstock,
thanks.
you've been on a losing streak.
I have been. Not in life, but like in this game.
Not in life.
In life, I'm winning every day.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Will you please share with us
Yeah.
your predictions?
Let's see. I really do believe, since nothing is coming out, number 5. I think it's almost going to mirror what it did last week. I'm going to go with Interstellar at number 5, though.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go with Horrible Bosses at number 4.
All right.
I am going to go with Badonkadonk at no.
You
I'm
said
gonna-
it. It's part of
Starring
what...
Sara Stretton.
Yeah. Badonkadonk.
No.
We're going to see number 3 is going to be Big Hero 6.
Okay.
All right.
Number 2, Pat Morita and his Penguins. And number
Also known
1,
as Penguins of Madagascar.
yeah, and number 1 is the Strawberry Twinkie Man.
It's got to be Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Hunger
Donald
Games.
Sutherland.
I feel like you need a translator. All right, so there is your list from Finstock. Change. You just switched number 4 and 5 from this week.
Yeah.
And JT, will you give us your predictions
This is
real
tough.
quick?
Obviously, I will go number 1, Hunger Games.
Going in the other
Yep.
direction.
Number 2, Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Number 4, Interstellar. Number 5, Horrible Bosses.
I also mirror.
Oh.
It's going to
I
be
see.
exact copy of this weekend.
Okay.
You got to look at what they're
Okay.
doing though.
I'm going to say off the bat that I think I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
But I feel like sticking with last week's is just cheating.
Or a bold.
Yeah, but you
bold
got to
move.
look at it this way. Interstellar over the whole week only made $300 total more than Horrible Bosses. Horrible Bosses is only in the second week now.
You mean 300,000?
300,000. That's what I meant.
Here's the thing. This was a family weekend. Horrible Bosses, I think, suffered because of that. This weekend is not a family weekend. Everyone's going to go out. People that want to see Horrible Bosses too, but couldn't because of their families, are going to go see it this weekend.
I mean,
Yeah,
what
that's
I
why
have to
it'll
say
be
is I think
ahead of
this
Interstellar.
weekend's just going to be kind of sad.
You're
This weekend's
I
going
totally
to
made
be
your case.
this
Yeah.
weekend is going to be sad.
Oh,
This weekend's going to be sad
Still, it's a
in the
bad
box
movie.
office. But what I'm going to say is number 1, Hunger Games. This is where I'm going to mess with my list a little bit. And I'm going to put differentiate. Yes, I'm going to put number 2, Big Hero 6.
Wow.
Oh, you think? See, I see what you're saying.
I meant
but
it.
It's too big of a gap.
It's a
big
gap.
gap.
It's a $7 million gap. But Big Hero 6 only dropped 6.7%.
That's true.
So if it holds on to that, it shouldn't lose too much. And if we're seeing a 50% gap from Penguins, it could be close. I already prefaced this with saying I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
But I'm just taking a risk out there. So Hunger Games, number 1, Big Hero 6, number 2. Then I'm going to give it to Penguins, then Horrible Bosses, then Interstellar. So I'm just rearranging
Okay.
everything a little bit.
Okay.
See
so
what happens.
You really want to wear this mask before Christmas, I see.
No, I have Marissa to help me.
I mean, I just think Horrible Bosses word of mouth is not good.
Yeah. Well, this is the last week before you'll
agree.
start
I
seeing
just-
heavy movies come out. Obviously, I think Inherent Vice comes out the week after. A couple other, in limited. But then there's
know.
what's his? Is it that stupid Hobbit movie? Is that coming out?
Not till December 17th.
I wouldn't see Hobbit. Oh,
We are getting.
Can't wait till we
the
talk
next,
about Hobbit,
The
'cause I'm
next
gonna
big
destroy it.
movies that we are going to get is probably, or at least our wide release is going to be Exodus,
And
Yes.
Sniper,
Battle of
American
Kings,
Sniper,
and also
American Sniper's not till
The
very
Interpreter,
end.
right? The Interpreter. What's it called? The Inspector. The Interview.
The
that's
interview
not
is
coming
not
out
till
for a while.
25th.
So the
26, yeah.
next one on the radar is going to be Exodus.
Exodus and Hobbit.
Yeah. So that is
Also,
our.
before this show, I would have said Lap Dance ain't making this list.
No.
At all. After the show, it's got a shot.
Hey, Bobby's in it. Little Bobby
We're
wants it.
raising numbers in the box office, not just telling you about them. Anyway, so that was our show for the day. You guys, please comment, rate, subscribe. We have
Yes,
a new
please.
place for you guys to look online, which is going to be Popcorn Talk Network on YouTube. So please search for us there. Again, subscribe, come back, watch us again, and Facebook,
Twitter at Schmoes JTE.
iTunes.
Yep, at Bobby Finstock, at Little Bobby, at Bob Finstock, at Little Bobby Finstock.
Little Bobby has one?
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah,
big
on
Twitter
Twitter.
following now,
He's
and he's got,
really
he's
ahead
got a
of
new
me in this
Facebook too. He's
whole
got a bunch of like,
Social game.
He's got an agent.
he's got a bunch of foreign followers too. They're weird. They're weird.
All
Pry
right.
in.
China
Good job,
loves 'em.
Little Bobby.
Yeah.
So that is our show. Come back next Monday, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Keep
Yes.
watching those numbers.
Poof.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.